Well, I'll give it a few seconds for people to get online. Pum, 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 pum. Hello, 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 all. Welcome to the Desert Goat channel, the goat with the most of what? You all decide. Yeah, I don't know how the sound was on my earlier video today about the officer. Yeah, the officer down here was real crazy. I mean, he should have been tossed in jail to begin with. Uh, the story on that is in February of this year, he was charged for domestic abuse against his spouse. He was put on unpaid leave. Yeah, send him on a vacation. Um, then, just recently, he did it again. He beat the person again. A little bit worse than last time. Made in Texas. Hello, hello. You know, people like this individual is very common within people that are abusive in domestic violence. You know, and this time they cuffed him and locked him up. But what really ticked me off is they put him on paid leave. They didn't fire him. And the chief was talking about, I don't know if he was the chief or not, but the dude was saying, well, we can't fire him right away. He can appeal it. No, there should be no appealing for that kind of behavior. If he's a law enforcement officer, how much do you want to bet if I were to go over and start pulling files on him on his work history, there would be more to his behavior? Because if this is second time he's pulled this stunt at sorry guys, if this is the second time he's pulled the stunt, what else is he doing to the general public? Really, guys, what is he doing to the general public? Hello, Bill Cooper, Patriot. If he's going out beating his wife, ripping her clothes, dirt, blood, even her clothes got soaked with her own blood. If he beat her that bad, like I've said, how much do you want to bet if you started, if I started and everybody else started pulling his file, his police record? Hello, Sam reports. What else is he really doing to the public? But then again, as I've said before on my channel, and I've said it on other people's panels, there should be at least a 2-year training period, psychological evaluations. And I'm not talking about once a year, I'm talking about once every, 2-3 weeks on people like this. Because who knows what else he's doing. Yeah, well, Bill Cooper, destroying evidence isn't the issue. I find when it comes to departments like this, they like to hide things, then destroy it. Very rarely do they destroy things. I mean, yeah, they do destroy, but, I'm not denying that. but they're more likely to hide it and make it difficult for the general public to find out. But yeah, guys, very strong on. I honestly believe there's a strong chance that he may have done something, so I'm going to definitely, talk with a few people that have experience in pulling these records and see what I need to do to get it done. I'm sure it's probably going to cost me money to pull these records, but considering it is a current investigation on this officer, and I do say current, and it's like I don't know how his past well, made in Texas. I mean, I can see, saying, hey, we want him out of there now. That I think we should be able to do on crimes like domestic violence. I think we should be booted out. As far as disciplinary action, with me, it should be a eye for an eye. He likes to beat women. Well, tie him to a post, beat him a few times, then go old school and start having him do some hard labor. Make him go out to, get a bunch of boulders or whatever and have him start busting it with a sledgehammer. I mean, it's just like, when they say innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, we all know the truth with our society. We are guilty until proven innocent, and even when we are proven innocent, in the cops' eyes, we are still guilty. But yeah, guys, I know it upsets a lot of people, but that's okay. Autotron, hello. Have you did any more train audits? Okay, what did I do with the other SD card? Oh, well, I'll find it later. But yeah, guys, like I said, cops like that should not be allowed on the force. But right now, I'm trying to get everybody's thoughts, everybody's feelings on things like this. Sam, agreed. A she-devil! Hello, hello. I've been waiting for a long time for you to come into my channel. And if you're wondering why she-devil, type something in and you'll see why. Yeah. But still, like I said, they're well, I haven't said it yet, but I'll say it now. Hello, Redneck 99 from Mississippi. But when it comes to law enforcement, they should be held to a higher standard. And I think, it should be counted against them. And like I was trying to make a point earlier, on characters like this, if they start developing a history of beating their significant others, beating their animals, then they should have a little bit more extreme disciplinary actions other than being let go. Yeah, well, Bill Cooper, yeah, I mean, yeah, most most people that live in the countryside, I mean, yeah, we learn to do things, raise crops, raise critters, hunt, fish, trap. We can hold our own. We may look like rejects and hicks and all the other stuff, but we can handle our own. Yeah. Well, I have never made alcohol of any kind. I mean, if you have that skill, that's great. You know, if things go bad, you have like if the system ever fails, at least that's one skill you could trade on, you know. But that's just the way I am. It's like me, I mean, yeah, I know how to hunt, fish, trap, all that good stuff. Oh yeah, definitely how to skin a buck. Hold on. You know, just because of my trapping skills is how I ended up with this. You know, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I'm used to dealing with older equipment, but still. Sam agreed. Our society has gotten very weak minded, very lazy. Uh, it's just like the educational system. You know, 60 years ago, man, us Americans, we were, number one or pretty close to it, if not in the top 10. Now it's like, they got a pencil? Congratulations. Here's your high school diploma. You know? And it's like 60 years ago, man, or 70 years ago, man, you had a problem. This is the way you settled it. You didn't go out and go, well, the person offended me. To the neighbors. I believe in this when settling a problem, not this. Always, I mean, I'd rather talk to you and settle it peacefully. But if push comes to shove and we can't dispute the argument, yeah. She Devil agreed. Ark, I don't know where you reside though at as far as U.S. She Devil, but yeah, I would have to agree with your statement. USA has become a laughingstock. It's just like I remember some time ago a person had an apartment and they hung a American flag and a couple of people from other country got upset and offended by our country's flag. And keep in mind, they were in our country. And they got upset by our flag and started to complain. My thoughts is if a country's flag offends you that much, don't live in that country, don't work in that country. And if you're in that country, get out. You either get out or you deal with it. You're not going to see me go to Mexico and get upset over their flag. I won't do it. Like I said, guys, it's annoying, really. you know, it's a sad day for our country, really it is. Well, it's been a sad century. I mean, we went from the Dark Ages where we had slavery, discrimination, then we got past it, and look where we're heading now. History is repeating itself. The only difference is the technology, weapons. The ignorance is getting worse, not better. Instead of, using the brain God gave us. Yeah, I would have to agree with that, Bill Cooper. You've heard of Robin Hood, who stole from the rich and gave to the poor? U.S. government robbing the hood. Steal from the poor to give to the rich. Oh, and heavens forbid if they hear it, they don't like it. And as I normally joke with people, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. The government hates competition. But the sad thing about it is that bad little joke of mine is becoming a reality. That's exactly what they're doing. And a lot of people aren't seeing it and they're not waking up to it. Government is trying their darnest to do the whole racial war against us, everybody attacking everybody. And it's like, no, dudes, we need to stop fighting each other, come together as one, and start looking at them. Once we just start going, okay, we see ya, then they'll be like, okay, we won't do anything. And it's like, yeah, we got you. We'll make sure you work for us, not the other way around. That it is, Sam. That it is. That's why I like your channel, Sam Reports. I mean, you tell it as it is. It kind of reminds me on how this country of ours got started. How people from the other world wanted to come. Hello, Mozart. Or Motaz. Hello. Welcome to the GOAT channel. The GOAT with the most. Most of what? You decide. What's the subject? Almost anything. I can change the subject like that if need be. But as I was saying, when they wanted to come to our country and they couldn't afford it, they went to a person that could, and like somebody who was a huge farmer and wanted to start farming in this country, and they would say, okay, we'll pay for your way. Here's a 7-year contract, and you have to work it off. And from what I found, due to some research, I mean, yeah, some of the whites got off it because, that's how ignorance runs. But if you had a child, that child, if you had a child within that 7-year contract, that child becomes property of the person that paid for your way. And that is wrong on so many levels. And it's like, dude, you know, and that's how the taxes are. Seriously, that's how our current taxes are. We, the people, are the slaves, and the other Americans, they're either too ignorant or they haven't been woken up yet to realize, hey, you know, take care of our country first, forget everybody else, get things in order. Motaz, go ahead. You could be honest as long as it's not threatening to do harm to no one, no sexual harassment, things like that. But yes, you could be honest in the chat as long as you're not forcing beliefs in anybody. Oh, will you live in the best country in the world? Yeah, well, our country, it was the best. It's going downhill. You know, that's the thing. Motaz, the opportunities here in America aren't what they seem. There's a saying, looks can be deceiving. I am well aware that in other countries, things are bad. But you know what? Things are getting bad here too. I mean, heck, here in our country, we have cops shooting innocent people, arresting innocent people. I mean, you got all these things that are going wrong, and as I said, looks can be deceiving. They want you to think that way, but it's only a matter of time. Seriously, I mean, it's like we have homeless people. It would be nice to see them get a job, but you know what? In our country, the homeless ain't going to get a job because the way our country is ran. It's like, oh, you're homeless, we can't hire you. We'll not hire you. She Devil, I have not heard about the new virus coming to the US, but it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah. But just to let you guys know, as far as Motaz, mods, leave him alone. Well, leave him or her or whatever Motaz wishes to call themselves. Let them speak. Motaz, that is a false statement. Not all homeless people are drug addicts. How do I know this? I was one. Never did drugs. I was homeless for over 2 years. I mean, if you got to have proof to what you're saying. But when it comes, yeah, well, I would have to agree with you, She Devil. But just to let you guys know, with the homeless situation, a lot of them would not be into their addictions. But like I was trying to say, when it comes to getting jobs, most businesses, if they find out a person is homeless, they will not hire them. And usually a typical time frame is within 60 to 90 days, they start developing a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction, some kind of an addiction. Agreed. Agreed, Sam reports. But yeah, I'm telling you from experience, you know, I've seen it too many times where a sober person, sober, and I'm pretty much referencing more than one, about 20, 30, 40. I mean, the numbers keep going up and up and up, where they're sober. As soon as they find out they're homeless, oh, we can't hire you. If a person is working and they become homeless and their job person finds out, they get fired because of it. It is a current problem, and it is well hidden. But yeah, now as far as people who do drugs, um, there are people who were former addicts that have gotten help. But yeah, Motaz, like with your comment there, if you don't give people, some people just need that second chance and a well support group. That kind of thinking, a lot of people stay stuck in that situation because of that kind of thinking. I've seen it too many times. Believe it or not, I held my own business. And I've given a few people second chances. And a lot of them succeeded. The business I ran, yeah, the guy was a former druggie, had a prison history. Well, to this day, he's still running it. So, life is exactly what you make of it. If you don't like it, that's on you, not me. And it's not on anybody else. It goes back to a past stream to where I said everybody's responsible for their own actions. It's like Motaz. Negative outlook, negative outcome. That's Motaz's action. That's his or hers responsibility. But yeah, guys, like I said, let Motaz speak. I'm kind of entertained by Motaz's comments. I mean, I know Motaz is being a troll, but that's Motaz's personal belief. I accept it for what it is. Apparently, people like that have never been down that street. Personally, I would like to see people go down that street. Like I said, people with that kind of belief, guys, they need to have that experience. They need to live it. When you, just like me, I mean, yeah, I had a second chance. Got there. you know, it's just, but yeah, guys, it's annoying, when people, uh, yeah, well, that's not how I would phrase it, but I would have to agree with you on that one. And I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, like I said, a lot of people, they've never had the experience of being homeless. And I'm talking about living out of a bag. When you live out of bag and you got to worry about where you're going to sleep, your meal, your income. Hello, Teresa. Welcome back to the Goat Channel. You know, it's difficult. Um, it's just like my ex-wife. A lot of her, speaking of being homeless, a lot of my ex-girlfriends complains about me. Yeah, I kind of freak out when I sleep when something gets shaken up and and I react and it's like, okay, sometimes I have to separate myself, to keep from going crazy, but it's nothing she did wrong. But I know myself well enough to where it's like, okay, have to separate. Well, Mozart, to answer your question there, things happen. Things happen beyond your control. That is life. And as you know, it's one of those things. You could have a good job, everything, things happen, and if things don't go your way, not much you can do about it. You can either, you know, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, carry on, get yourself back to where you need to be, or you can go back to being the person you dislike. You would be that person you're discriminating against. And yes, I do use the word discrimination on the whole homeless thing. I can tell you stories on how I would be off the beaten path, and the people with jobs, the 9 to 5 people, that came at me just to try to assault me, destroy my gear, rob me. And everybody's always the same when it comes to these type of people. Oh, they wouldn't do that. The whole fairy tale thing. And it's like, no, dude, when you're in that position, then we'll talk. Never take things at face value. Always do your homework. You are your best source of fact checking. That's why when people, talk to me about how I love knives, yes, on a wilderness survival point, they are the greatest tool. When I was out on the street, not only was it a tool to help me build things like shelter, but it was a also great self-defense tool. Yeah. Well, She-Devil, here's the question for you guys. How bad is things when a homeless person that has almost literally nothing can show better compassion for the human race than the people with 9 to 5 jobs? How is that? You know, The everyday average person that works has little to no compassion, but a homeless group of homeless people can show better compassion than people that get paid. Better compassion than the rich. It's like Bill Gates, or heck, you can name five of the richest people in the world. Well, not in the world, five of the richest people here in the USA. How many times do you see them walking down the street and going, "Oh, you're homeless. You know what? Here's some gear to help you out." You know, these rich people that own businesses. How many times do you see them going down the street and going, "Oh, you're homeless. I got a business. You need a job? Here you go. Here's a job. Here's an apartment. Let's get you back up in society." None of them. They rather beat down that homeless person, put them in a concentration camp. Seriously. Humanity has gone downhill. Yeah. Well, Sam, that is the greatest thing people say to themselves. It'll never happen to me. It can, it will. Yes, Autotron, yes, I've seen that. Some people, they got what I refer to as wanderlust. It's more of a nomadic lifestyle. They like to travel from point A to point B. But it all depends on the person. She Devil, that's exactly one of the points I'm trying to make. Exactly. That's why when I tell you guys, when you donate to my channel for like a certain purpose, um, now any money left over, me, myself, and I usually go out and I buy things like food or shelter, like a tarp or a tent or a blanket, clothing, whatever for the homeless. Here I am. I'm a guy, I live on pretty much $800 a month. And whatever I have to spare goes to that direction. Good evening, NJ Sentinel. If a person on my meager living can do so, that's how it is. If we, the people, start looking after each other, it would be a better place. There's just like a saying my grandmother used to say, it takes a village to raise a child. And it's one of those sayings where it depends on how you look at it. Instead of everybody going, I'm this tribe, I'm that tribe, I'm that tribe, oh, we're going to fight with each other. No. If three tribes become one, just imagine how good you can get things. Heck, if we got together, improved our education, help feed the homeless, just get things rolling. Heck, we could have, the moon colonized, Mars colonized, just the possibilities are endless. She Devil, yeah, well, Everybody has things. It's like my one friend. Uh, she had surgery on her back, and due to that, the metal screws and all that, she can't do things like she used to. And even I had to, step in and help her. And yeah, she felt bad a few days because, I would do things without question, without complaining. I would just get in there and get it done. I mean, yeah, look at me. I've got a bad knee, but I still get it done. Do what you can with what you have. If you have bad health, that's okay. Don't push yourself. Always work at your pace. And never, never put yourself in harm's way. You know, if you have bad health, don't get involved in something that's going to make it worse. No, don't do it. But yeah, it's just the way things are. But yeah, guys, show some support to She Devil. I've seen She Devil around. She's a good person. You know, for those who have a religious belief, please pray for her. Positive things, always positive. But yeah, but just like me, like when I told you guys, when it comes to the earlier conversation about, country people surviving, and I showed you guys that bow. It's like me, yeah, I have older kind of stuff, and it's like the person was a disabled person that couldn't hunt anymore, and that was their bow. And it's like, dude, you know, quite happy with some of the meat that I ended up getting from it. But it was one of those things, the person was my elder, and out of respect, it's like, okay, thank you for the bow. But I'm thinking about maybe donating it to a possible youth center, or maybe teaching a young kid, whether it be male or female. And yes, I said male or female, or transgender, whatever it may be, how to hunt with it. Here at the Desert Goat channel, I don't discriminate. But yeah, it's just like myself, you'll never hear me beg or anything like that. It's just like myself, even though I'm running low on cigarettes, I won't beg for money. I'm not PayPal Patty. And I'm sure a few of you know who PayPal Patty is. It was kind of funny on one of his live streams. He was joking about the Cash App, people saying, then they're going to start calling me Cash App Patty and all that. He does remind me of the character of, I guess you would call it a somewhat adult cartoon, Bobby Hill. you know. But yeah, so far, as far as my subs, I would like to thank everybody who's ever subbed to my channel. I'm almost there to my 1,000. I'm doing better on my subs than I am on my watch hours, but as I've told people before, I am a small channel. Like to keep it, I like being a small channel because it gives me time to interact with you all, talk with you all. Oh, nice She Devil. Now, you're not going to teach her useful skills, are you? Well, you can if you want. But yeah, who here knows what the job of a grandparent is? I can tell you the job of a grandparent. Okay, I'll tell you. The job of a grandparent: spoil the grandkids, load them up on sugar, and send them back home. Yeah, to spoil them. But yeah, that's the way we operate, right, guys? But yeah, I know some of my viewers are too young to have children. Like Sam reports, we all know she's too young to have kids. She's about what? 22? 23 maybe? Okay. I think I'm flirting a little too much. I do apologize for that flirting. Um, but yeah, Sam, love your hats. One of these days, I gotta find a few hats that look like yours and just wear it just to mess with the law enforcement, I think. But yeah, guys, like I said, when it comes to things like homeless people, you know, if you see them, I mean, yeah, if they're hungry and you can afford it, you know, give them a meal or whatever. I'm one of those people, I normally like to buy gift cards for them. And I've gotten a few people that got upset with it, and the ones that were upset with it are the ones that are into the addictions. But I'm not going to judge them for it. Yeah. Well, speaking of that she devil, I have a family member that was told she could never have children. Yeah. You want to know how that is? It's one of those things like I told her, you want children? Pray to God for patience. So far, I haven't been proven wrong on that. Because kids will try your patience every time. But yeah, guys, kind of strayed away from my original conversation piece. But yeah, but speaking of doctors, being wrong, my mother, she found out the hard way that doctors are not always right. They told her while breastfeeding you can't get pregnant. Ta-da! Here I am. Then they told her, well, at your age, the chances of you getting pregnant again, you're not going to get pregnant. Your chances of getting pregnant is low. And it's like, okay, don't talk to doctors about such things, Mom. Yeah, but yeah, doctors, I don't trust them much anymore. Really, I don't. It's just like this beer bug. The Since I'm calling it the beer bug, the so-called drink they're enforcing on us, it's not fully tested. I mean, they're using us as test subjects, guinea pigs. That ticks me off. Not fully tested, hasn't been around long enough to be tested. And you're just going to say, well, you want this, you want that, you want to go back to work or whatever, you got to have the beer. Yeah. People need to start waking up. But anyhow, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. So remember, sharing is caring. Always be a good neighbor to each other. It don't matter if your neighbor lives 5 feet from you, or they live clear across the ocean or on another planet. They're always your neighbor, and treat them as such. Okay, sharing is caring. Be a good neighbor. What else do I say? Okay, well, anyhow. Yeah, always be a good neighbor. Treat each other well. Sharing is caring. Good evening, all. And see you all later.